We've all been there. You've just got your Animal Crossing New Horizons island to a somewhat visually okay-ish state. Well, it's less trash than it was at least. All is finally at peace in your mind. Life is good, it's all uphill from here. That is, until the next morning when you naively boot up the game, expecting all to still be in harmony, only to find that Satan himself has moved in, to bring your world crashing back down. It's satisfying being able to create your perfect small beepy-animal town, I get it, and I'm sure the majority of you do too, but just how far would you go to get it? This is where we begin our descent into a darker side of the Animal Crossing community. Beginning at a high level, we have the pretty harmless act of villager trading, simply swapping or giving over a villager from your island to another player. If not swap with another character, sometimes users might exchange in-game items such as bells or Nookmart tickets that they've earned. Facebook groups, Discord servers and the like have been set up solely for the purpose of players trading to get their favourite villagers, or dreamies. At this level, the trading seems pretty harmless, and a great way to share or work with the community to build each other's villager sets, I guess. But unfortunately, everybody loved Raymond. This is a good point to also bring up the existence of sites like nookazon, put a pin in Raymond for a second. I'm sorry, Raymond. There are other sites out there of a similar vein, but for the purpose of this video, we're focusing on one of the main names in the field. Nookazon is essentially, as the name suggests, Amazon for Animal Crossing items. However, critically, users agree to pay with in-game items or currency. No real-world money is exchanged. Both buyers and sellers hold star ratings, giving others an idea of their reliability before transactions occur away from the site, in-game. I guess this aspect is more eBay, Vinted, or Facebook Marketplace-esque. Let's take a look through the nookazon Safe Trading Guide, and fine, we can have a browse too. The Safe Trading Guide. They've got some help resources, so read reviews. The review feature helps users identify trustworthy sellers, use reviews as a guide to determine the amount of risk when trading on that specific seller, so like you would on any other commerce trading site. Use common sense and logic, report users who violate our terms of service, and there's a reporting process. And then it says when you visit another player via dodo code as a friend in-game, you are limited to certain features. There is also a best friend feature. We do not recommend adding trade partners as best friends as it gives them access to modify your island. So, no one is allowed to. So guests can't sell to Flick or Seegery, use the catalogue, they can't place or move items, they can't use the rescue services, they can't donate or access fossils museum, they can't send letters from the airport, but they can shake trees, drop items, pick up dropped items, so it's just giving you an idea of what people can get up to on your island, so you're fully aware if you're having people come over to collect things from you, what those people could do. They could pick your flowers, and that, you really don't want that. But there is some visiting etiquette on here as well, so do not pick any flowers, fruit, blah 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 blah, although I'm sure people do. And then there's just some general safety rules, things about real life currency. See, nookazon does not permit transactions involving real life currency, dollars, yen, pounds, etc. So this is strictly forbidden, which is good. Thank you, nookazon. And there's just some more tips here on how to use the site. So we've got these different categories up top here: art, clothing, DIY recipes, flowers, food, fossils, furniture. You get the picture. Let's just have a look under villagers. So under villagers, we've got all these different listings. Let's see who we've got here. Apple, Avery, Audi. Look at the price. 1,000. I know my numbers. 1,000,000 bells for Audi. How much is Raymond? Bearold. People are actually, yeah, I can. At least Axel's a bit better than Bearold. So let's take a look at this acorn rug, for instance. So you click on the item that you're interested in. You've got options of trading, auctions. We can put a message saying you're looking for it and look at recent trades, see how much things went for. And then you've just got users down here with their ratings and what they're asking for, basically. So it seems like a pretty clear, pretty simple to use system. I like it. Now that we've explored exchanging game items and characters for in-game currency, let's return to Ray. Now, as you may well be aware, players are able to use Nintendo's amiibo cards, specifically those of AC villagers, in order to import them into their game. For instance, if you had a Wolfgang amiibo card, then you could scan it into your game and have Wolfgang move in, although you may need to boot someone out first. At the time of the Great Raymonding, amiibos were only available for older characters, Those, such as Raymond, that only had been introduced in New Horizons, were, for now, amiiboless, meaning that users had to encounter them organically in-game. But the chokehold that this smug little glasses-wearing cat had on the Animal Crossing community, who admittedly were locked down in their homes going stir-crazy over a global viral situation, was insane. Every island rep and their puppy plushie needed Raymond more than air. See this classic tweet from that time. "Hello, I've been following your tweets for the past 2 days, and have come to the conclusion that you do not deserve to have Raymond on your island. He is my comfort character, and seeing him in an environment not meant for him brings me anxiety. So I will be expecting a reply to this DM when you have him in boxes and ready to relinquish him to someone who will treasure him like he deserves." Yikes. Trading prices rocketed and competition for Raymonds in boxes was fierce, with trade prices pushing up into the many hundreds of Nookmart tickets. Or, let's not. However, Raymond Mania got a little out of control in other ways too. Looking through Animal Crossing Reddit, user JLo Avocado, great name, reminded me of the fabled Raymond viewing experience, in which a player on nookazon supposedly requested payment for others to simply come and stare at the digital cat for a bit. Wild. Taking a more Mr. Beast approach, after encountering Raymond on their own island, YouTube duo Crunchy Island set about putting together a competition, rewarding one player with the prize cat after discovering just how valuable he was. A simple raffle perhaps? Oh heck no, they were going to host a live-streamed 40-minute long maze race for the cat's affection. And that they did. Race for Raymond was no ordinary Animal Crossing maze either, taking over 300 hours to plan and construct. Crunchy Island had meticulously crafted an intense game that would genuinely prove a real challenge to competitors. It was honestly a work of art. Raymond would eventually be won by YouTuber Abdullah Smash, and Crunchy Island went on to hold competitions for other popular villagers, such as Lucky and Audi. Hosting events on specialised islands and bringing over groups of strangers for the collection of goods wasn't a totally alien concept to the wider New Horizons community, however. You've probably heard of, or may even have visited, a treasure island yourself. What separates treasure islands from some of these other trading methods that we've explored earlier in the video is usually that they're hacked or modded islands, used solely for the purpose of treasure islanding, which is where players visit either for free or for a fee, such as a Twitch subscription, and then are able to simply pick up items that they want in their own game and then just leave with them. This modded or hacked aspect is what some players find to be a little bit controversial, although at the end of the day, Animal Crossing is a single-player, non-competitive game, so who's it really hurting? Although pretty crazy, competitions and fierce trading seem pretty harmless and all in good fun, but as I'm sure you guessed, things get a little bit more serious when real-world money truly gets involved. Enter Nookmart, the main inspiration for this video. Nookmart is an online marketplace for literally buying Animal Crossing items, villagers, bells, Nookmart tickets, etc. Real-world money is exchanged here, and the site promises to deliver in-game items to you in, quote, less than 15 minutes. Again, Nookmart isn't the only site offering these services. However, it's a larger name that I'll be focusing on just for the purpose of this video. I will note, however, that eBay sellers were a big part of this too. Let's take a look over the Nookmart website. Okay, so here it is. Nookmart. No more waiting. Get any Animal Crossing New Horizons in-game item delivered to you in less than 15 minutes. Okay, so 24/7 delivery, live support, best prices, excellent Trustpilot rating, the best way to buy Nookmart tickets or to buy bells in Animal Crossing. We truly offer it all. You can buy villagers, furniture and other items thanks to our trusted team of New Horizons veterans. We're like Tom Nook's Vault of Treasures. If you're asking yourself how to buy New Horizons bells, we're your answer. So this is how it works. You open your island gates, so basically open your gates, you place the order, and then somebody will turn up after you give them your code, and then they'll come along with your items. So for example, we've got like hot items here. I like the spinning Nook face, that was acceptable. You could buy, I think, tulips? Is that just one plantable flower for 79 cents? I don't know, that feels expensive. But like they've got this current, like they've got 4 million, I don't know my thousands and millions today, 4,200,000 bells for $4.99. They're just, I just don't know how I feel about this. Like for a topiary tree, that's just for one, it's like $1. I can see if you started buying these, you could end up adding clip ton to your cart and then racking up quite the bill just on Animal Crossing items, which if that's what you're into then fair enough, but I feel like it'd be easy to slip into a bit of a spiral with this one. If you're out there buying Bearold, I'm judging you. Now, there are plenty of positive reviews for Nookmart, but please do approach with caution if this is something you're interested in, as something about this does feel a bit shady to me. You can get your hands on these items in a variety of free ways and would encourage you to try doing so first, before resorting to something like this and handing over your actual hard-earned cash for hacked items. You may be wondering what Nintendo has to say about all of this. Are they aware? Do they mind people profiting off their copyrighted materials? Surely not. Nintendo are chill, right? Obviously, Nintendo became very much aware of the growing Animal Crossing black market goings on, and being famously definitely not chill about anything copyright, they were on it. They condemned the practice of selling in-game items for real money, stating that it goes against their terms of service. Yet I wonder what can realistically be done here. Fans have pointed out that the Japanese version of the game did include language that seemed to prohibit the reselling of in-game items in its terms and conditions. However, a close equivalent was not apparent in the English one. Looking at this article from The Standard, we have snippets of information from Nintendo via Japanese news site JCast News. A Nintendo spokesperson told JCast News that the company is aware of the villager exchange market. From today, we'll start handling Animal Crossing real money trading, RMT, said the spokesperson. The spokesperson chided the selling of villagers and items appearing in the game for real money, stating that the actions are in fact against Nintendo's terms and conditions. According to JCast News, players who continue to try and sell villagers and items for actual money will be penalised. There was one case of someone trying to sell Dom, a popular sheep villager. In Japan, Dom can be bought for about 5,000 yen, roughly £37. Whether this sort of crackdown extends to places outside of Japan is currently unclear. So for now, it appears that Nintendo are cracking down on sales within Japan, yet as of the time when I'm making this video, there hasn't been any confirmation regarding the rest of the world. Personally, I don't see that too much can be done. Potentially Nintendo could go after the bigger sellers, at least getting them taken down, but the majority of smaller sellers would likely go unnoticed. Have you ever traded or purchased any in-game items, currency or villagers for Animal Crossing New Horizons? If not, would you consider it? Or why not? Let me know your experiences and thoughts down in the comments below. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, please consider dropping a like/subscribe down below, as it would really help me out. But until next time, bye for now. Free items that people can claim, so if you've ever wanted 756 giant clams, come and grab them.